Hi everyone, it's Chris at Involve Me, and I wanted to talk about the 5 ways that we are stuck in the cycle of woe. The first of these ways should be fairly familiar to people, and that is when a company makes cuts. Okay, so cuts are what happen when a company starts thinking, actually, things are getting a little bit more desperate and we need to get rid of expenses that we don't need to have anymore. Now, these will be things like travel expenses, business expenses, kickoffs, social events, many more things. And actually, they are probably very important to the company, right? So then we start getting to a second area where we're looking at policy changes, right? That's what comes after the cuts. Now it's official. Now we're starting to get a little bit more concerned about things because the company is putting this in rules and saying these can't be done anymore. And that says that the company is a little concerned about what's happening. Then comes the really worrying part, the third part, which is restructuring and redundancy. At first, this all seems quite nice and dynamic, and we've got a new department here, we're splitting this department here, we're bringing this person over from here, they've got this new role, and we're changing the job titles, and then, by the way, we're also getting rid of these 4 people because we don't have a place for them anymore. Or we're going to start asking employees to work for free for a little bit, or whatever it is, right? A lot of organizations are doing this. This is a really concerning place to be. Very shortly after that, you get to the 4th one, which is the management team swap outs, right? That's when management's starting to feel this now. So whole new management teams come in to fix the problem, and they bring with them their old way of doing things, methodologies that they've used that have worked, but that disrupts everything that was there before. And when this happens over and over again, you never find your feet, right? As employees, as a company, it's very difficult to find a firm footing. And with those managers also come fads a lot of the time. We're going to try a new fad. This new method that worked for this company here, they've written a book, it's on Amazon, they do speeches about it. We're going to apply that and see if it works because it worked for them. But remember, you can't just template this stuff because it's not contextual. So it may have worked for them, but it probably won't necessarily work for you. Okay. Do any of these seem familiar? Because I'm seeing these in companies everywhere at the moment, and I've been in companies even recently that have shown this for a very long time. This cycle goes round in about 6 to 12 months, can be a lot longer. I worked for a company where things looked good for a couple of years, and then things started going a bit downhill again, and then everything fell off the table after limping along for a while, right? This is where most of us are stuck. And that is what I do as a coach and consultant, is try to help you break the cycle as an organization. It's very bad for the employees because you get very low morale. There's no buy-in anymore from them. Direction keeps changing. It's all very confusing. Nothing seems to go anywhere. A lot of people end up leaving and going to other companies. It's a stressful grey limbo. So traditional and a lot of the modern management science methods are mostly based off the 10 strategy schools from Mintzberg, which are taught in a number of places, which it's an expected hybrid of, it's an outcome of consistent, transferable, repeatable, and rigidly controlled performance with an alignment to mission statements and values, which are predictable and usually perfect single goals, outcome-based measures. You may know of the management matrix, something I speak about with Knevin, where you have process engineering and systems thinking, and those are where Mintzberg's 10 strategy schools lie. Mathematical complexity, which, like systems thinking, is to do with modelling and prediction, and it's often inaccurately used. And the last one, which is where organisations are starting to learn that they need to move to, which is the more human aspect, right? The ecosystem side, social complexity or anthro complexity. And that's quite important. When all this is applied out of context, and they all do have their context, you start getting a lot of problems resulting. And we are out of context in the modern world. Old management science just isn't fit for purpose anymore. It doesn't have enough humanity in it. Things are changing too fast in the market. Industrial revolutions are occurring quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. companies can't keep up, people can't keep up. And this all comes from things like too rigid hierarchy, lack of understanding that markets and industry are changing that quickly, or that they're not the same anymore. A new generation of employees and customers who are mostly now becoming millennials, right? It's a totally different way of engaging and, interacting. Things like personal branding and identity and, all these people think totally differently to the way that organizations are used to. And they're stressed, angry, fearful, reacting. Even the global economy has changed, right? So companies are struggling. Banks, retail, tech, many, many more. Organizations large and small are trapped in this cycle, in this loop of trying to manage these problems by almost invariably applying more of the same, which is just making it worse. Okay. This isn't only woeful for the company, it's woeful for the people working for the company as well. And the value streams will suffer within the company, the reputation will suffer, the employees will suffer and leave. This links into crisis management, weak signal detection, S-curves, complex adaptive systems, dominant apex predator theory, market life cycles. I talk about a lot of this stuff on my blog, so please go and have a look there for more information on that. But it's important to know that all of these things are based on, a total lack of understanding of where we all are at the moment, and the fact that people are trying to predict, and companies are trying to predict where they will be without even knowing where they are at the moment, right? And like I said, prediction is not the same as simulation. You can't predict a lot of these things accurately, because if you don't even know where you are here, it's certainly not going to be accurate further down the line. So there are some ways to manage this. Realise the value of the people in your system, in the company. Rediscover the humanity, in us all mattering, right? That's really important. Realise the old ways just don't work properly anymore, and understand that we can change engagement, reactivity and management to make sense of the current marketplace, okay? Let that emerge from what we're being told. Find a consultant or a coach who understands these things, and they can help you learn how. And you will be able to break that cycle of woe. For more information, please go to involvemetraining.com, or you can follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn. But for now, thanks for watching and take care out there.